Welcome to the Friday Fenix's special Women Don't Have Rights Anymore edition. We'll also talk about the January 6 hearings getting real spicy, the Supreme Court doing an Armageddon or 6, and if you stick around long enough, there will be a real cute goat. Let's do this! In our top story tonight, every woman in America is now 98% cortisol. That's right, ladies be stressing because the most important decision we could ever possibly make is no longer ours to make. Strangers get to make that decision for us now. And I'm so enraged that I'm genuinely shocked I haven't done this. Now, my job is to give you the news, and I can't do that if my head explodes. So, I've got our chief screaming correspondent, Jen Haston, here to help me out. Jen, can you give us a good one to get things started?
Oh, okay. Just a second.
Great, thanks for that. Now, while I'm certainly angry at everyone on the right who has been driving towards this goal for the past 50 years, I'm also pretty pissed at Democrats. And I have a question for them. What the fuck is your plan to fix this? Because AOC proposed building abortion clinics on federal lands. Could we try that?
No.
Okay, well, obviously we need to expand the Supreme Court. What about that?
No.
The good news is that Biden is asking for a filibuster exception so we can pass legislation to protect abortion rights. Manchin and Sinema, what do you have to say about that?
I will not support separate actions that worsen the underlying disease of division infecting our country.
It's starting to feel like the Democrats' plan is to say, damn, that sucks, somebody should do something about that, and then hope the other side learns that getting everything you want through cheating is not as cool as it seems. This replaces their previous plan of pray for the health of RBG, because an 87-year-old who had cancer 3 times is a great thing to hang your hopes on. Guys, what the fuck is your plan to fix this? Because I'm not impressed with what I've heard so far. For starters, we've been urged to help candidates like this get more Twitter followers. That'll save women's rights for sure. We can donate to Nancy Pelosi since she's doing such a great job getting our rights protected. And don't worry, the Democrats have said you're still allowed to travel to different states to get an abortion. Hey guys, like 700 flights were canceled this weekend and gas is $5 a gallon, so go ahead and take a little trip. Isn't quite the great advice you think it is. Jen, gonna need another scream, babe.
Okay, just a second.
Thank you. So Democrats don't seem to have much of a plan right now, despite knowing that this day has been coming for 2 months. But I don't just want to shit on Democrats. I am here to help. So guys, let me show you how it's done. Hi everyone, as you know, the Supreme Court just overturned RoeVWade 5 seconds ago, and I'm already here to tell you about what happens next because I'm fucking prepared. Part 1 of our plan is in this box, and parts 2 and 3 are over in those boxes because, yes, we did order in some pizza and have some brainstorming sessions about this shit. First up, the conservative justices are getting mailed to Abu Dhabi like Nermal in the Garfield cartoons. Then I'm going to sign an executive order declaring that no one gets to legislate a uterus unless they have one. And finally, I'm also signing an executive order that anyone who fucks with someone getting an abortion gets strung up by their toes and has tomatoes thrown at them. Now, there is some other stuff too. There's some other tomato-based stuff, a lot of tasing specific people in the balls, that kind of thing. But rest assured that I would never, ever let the government take away your most sacred rights because that's my fucking job. Many companies are paying for their employees in red states to travel to other states to get abortions, which is great. But how about buying some senators? Isn't that what you guys usually do? Retailers are limiting how much PlanB you can purchase as women race to stock up. Meanwhile, men have continued to go about their lives not racing to the pharmacy for a damn thing, just getting boner pills delivered to their front door in discreet packaging at affordable prices. Jen, hit me! Thank you, ma'am. In other women are so fucked news, there's a major shortage of period products like tampons and pads in the US right now, and that baby formula shortage is still happening. And then the American Academy of Pediatrics came out and said women should be breastfeeding for 2 years instead of 1. And you know what? Not fucking now, bitches. Our hands are a little bit full, all right? You want us to feed something from our tits that has a full set of teeth? If the kid can spell the word nipple, I think my work here is done, okay? Get off my shit. Jen, your services are required. Whew, that one felt really good, thanks. The Supreme Court is on a fucking roll this week, severely limiting the ability of the EPA to curb carbon emissions while the world literally fucking burns. And if that bums you out, you should see what they have planned next in our new segment, What's Next for the Supreme Court? First up is a ruling that says women do not have the constitutional right to get lippy with the fellas when they're hanging out with the guys. Also, the highest court in the land will now be officially no girls allowed. Justice Amy Coney Barrett wrote in her dissent, "You guys are mean and I'm going to tell the Federalist Society on you." According to the court, carbon emissions are required to increase 412% by 2025. Can't wait for that one. And continuing on the path they set by overturning Roe v. Wade, the court has ruled that life now begins at a guy buying you a drink. And in a victory for Florida math teachers, all word problems must now contain elements of scripture. Let's talk about something else for a minute. This week, the country was shocked by the testimony of Cassidy Hutchinson at the January 6 hearings. Her testimony proves that Donald Trump knew that his followers were armed and directed them to march to the Capitol anyway. And just real quick for the government, the way that things work is once you know someone has done a great big crime, you put them in a great big jail. Go right ahead. Just any minute now. QAnon is back, and just in time too, because Great Aunt Mildred was running out of content to turn into minion memes. Coincidentally, Elvis is also back in a new Baz Luhrmann film. Both fictionalized accounts seem to lack directorial oversight and involve large quantities of drugs, but the QAnon plot is sure to win the coveted Rudy Giuliani Prize for Special Achievement in Violent Distractions. More than 1 million Americans have changed parties to the GOP, citing inflation, vaccine mandates, and rising crime. Meanwhile, a group of libertarians has assembled a crack team of meme makers and shitposters to really hand both sides their asses this time. How about a little good news for a change? Ghislaine Maxwell was sentenced to 20 years in prison for her role in the sex trafficking of minors for Jeffrey Epstein. Unsurprisingly, she thinks 20 years is too many and was hoping for something more in the 12 to 14 range. RKelly was similarly disappointed by his 30-year prison sentence. The LA Times reports that a new crypto-themed restaurant is no longer accepting cryptocurrency as payment, marking the first time in history that a restaurant has sent something back for being half-baked. And finally tonight, a pastor was arrested for performing a sex act on himself on a Starbucks patio. In his defense, we hear they make one damn good caramel macchiato. That wraps up this week's episode of the Friday Fenix. We'll be off next week, screaming a lot, but in the meantime, I don't know, man. Here's a goat with really long ears.
Your efforts are valid, but I don't think you can step up is a challenge. Your efforts are valid, but I don't think you can step up is a challenge.